Geraldine set up, Geraldine sat down there. We met when we were very young, when we were teenagers, and we started on Camden Market with a very thrifty company, and we were broke. I was playing in a band, wasting all the money, not wasting money, because you never waste money playing in a band, but spending our rent money on band equipment, and we just wanted to have more money to Jodie to buy fabric, to buy clothes, for me to buy records, and to go and see more bands and to go to more discos. It's simple as that. And we entered our wardrobes on Camden Market. We became probably the biggest sellers of what today is called vintage clothes, what then was called second-hand clothes. And we became big collectors as well of everything, of popular culture ephemera. We then created Red or Dead. It's a fantastic story. One day I'll come down and tell just a story when we're not talking business. I'll come down and tell the story of Red or Dead and Camden Market. It's a great story. And Red or Dead went on to. I think we're genuine. Our aim was to be the world's first affordable designer label. I think we pretty well achieved that. We became Designer of the Year for 3 years on a row, and we sold the company in the late 90s, and that allowed us to have an attitude that we can take on projects that are not all about the big book. We design all sorts of things. Everything from social housing, regeneration schemes, which ostensibly, part of what we're doing here, what we're all going to be doing here in Margate is a regeneration scheme, as you know, to furniture for John Lewis, to wallpapers, all sorts of things. My personal history is of being born at the seaside. I was born in Morecambe. That's me in the middle there on Morecambe Pier. That's me Nan and me Auntie Ev. And we love doing seaside projects. We have had success at the seaside, working with Bournemouth Council in Boston in a very difficult area. And we live by the seaside now, not here, but on the Sussex coast. We own a museum called the Land of Lost Content, which is a museum of popular culture, flotsam and jetsam, for want of a better word. It has everything from every packet of fags from the 1920s to the 80s, and every fizzy drinks can, to amazing collections of seaside memorabilia, to just trade union memorabilia, to history of nursing, all sorts of things that other people don't collect, and that's why it's called the Land of Lost Content. And within that is all sorts of stuff, as you can imagine, about Margate. We specialise in looking. One of the things that we do, we have, as well as being modernists in the way that we enjoy modern design, whether that's modern design that stands the test of time. One of our favourite parts of London, or favourite buildings in London, is the Royal Festival Hall in the South Bank. We work with them. We're almost in-house designers in some respect for the South Bank, because we have a kinship, with that. But what we don't kind of like that much is the word retro. We are great believers, and this is a very important part of the Dreamland philosophy that we're developing, is that we are not interested in bringing something back to life as it was, because it very rarely works. It gets a bit of press, but then the reason why something dies off is because society moves on. So we like to think that we can take the best of the past, put it into a modern context, and not lose sight of the DNA that made it great in the first place. So, and what, the way that you can read that yourself, the way that we kind of word that sometimes is that. This project is about placemaking as well. We wouldn't be working on this project if Margate wasn't a place that had an opportunity to be something more special than it is now. It's on the march. Some of you want it to be on the march quicker, some might think it's too quick on the march, but there's something brewing, there's something stirring, there's a bit of a walk, it's starting to walk with a swagger. And that's why, we're here. If this was in a town, I'm not going to name any town, I could name some towns. If the idea was to do a Dreamland in certain towns, we wouldn't have come to it, because it can work here, partly because of the building that we're in, and partly because of what a lot of you are doing over in the old town and in various places. there is a germ of something happening. I'm not going to talk about our other seaside regeneration